To support this podcast, go to positivesarcasm.com/donate. Any amount is appreciated. Once again, positivesarcasm.com/donate. Thank you and enjoy the program. Hey, you're at positivesarcasm.com, recorded here from the Spare Parts Studio alongside New Hampshire's beautiful seacoast. Like, subscribe, share, donate. Where's my cap? Where's my cap at? Do I have a cap? Yeah, whatever, screw it. Like, subscribe, share, donate, positivesarcasm.com/donate. Any amount is appreciated. Hit me up on Instagram at @positive_sarcasm. You can hit me up directly at my website, positivesarcasm.com. Go to the contact section of my page, and you can hit me up there. And you can also email me directly, positivesarcasm@outlook.com. Two-parter episode. So let's start with the health stuff first, because I'm actually dealing with another issue right now. Not critical. It's not critical, but it's, gotta tell you, it sucks a lot. First things first. Actually, no. Let's deal with the elephant in the room here. For the longest time, I've had this snaggletooth. So obviously I have my two front teeth, your buckies per se. Then next to them you got your, I don't know what they're called, but either way, you got the two teeth right next to your buckies. And one of them I've had is a little bit askewed, and it's been askewed, I mean since I developed, since I was a kid. It's not bad. Ultimately, it's not too bad. It's just a little tilted out. It's never caused me any problems. It's easy to clean. It doesn't cause me any pain. I've just never had any problems with it whatsoever. None. And then all of a sudden, I wake up literally on Thursday. Was it Thursday? It was either Thursday or Friday. Pretty sure it was one of those days. I just woke up and my body was in pain. My tooth was, that area was in pain, but I didn't know what it was. It kind of went away in the morning. And then sometime late afternoon, it just came back. And it stayed. And I couldn't sleep through the night. It just was there. It was pulsating. It was pounding. To the point where I had to make a call. I had to make the call. I was like, called the dentist's office, and I'm like, I'm in a lot of pain. I don't know what this is. It's not going away. And it's located specifically in that tooth. I don't think it's cracked or anything. I don't know what's going on, but maybe the body is just rejecting it. So I went there. The dentist doesn't have the best x-rays. Generally, you have to go to a periodontist or an oral surgeon, and they have those 3-dimensional x-rays, which are pretty impressive, by the way. But I'm scheduled for Tuesday to go do that, but I mean, the pain when it originally was, it was pulsating right here, and when it's right here, generally, it's debilitating. It's like a migraine in your gum line. And I'm a person who brushes 3 times a day, watches what they eat, doesn't use a lot of carbohydrates, if any. And I don't understand where it came from. So I went there, and I have one or two options. If the tooth is savable, they'll have to drill and obviously fill it and figure out if a nerve is exposed. I have no idea if a nerve is exposed at all. If the tooth is cracked, according to this dentist, if the tooth is actually cracked, it's got to come out. Now, I don't want fucking Thermopylae pass in my mouth here, so I want this repaired. Or replace. So obviously they'll drill a point into it and then attach a porcelain to it. And then there we go. I just move on with my day like nothing ever happened. But it's just one thing after another. And it's my God, can I catch a break? I just want to catch a break. Which I'm getting one, thankfully. I'm going on vacation next week. But it's painful. And unfortunately, I have to be on a combo platter. It's a it's like a Tylenol mixed with ibuprofen. And in the first bout, I was able to stretch it out to 12 hours, 14 hours before, taking another 2. But when I first got it, it was every 6 to 7 hours, I had to take 2 more. And it's don't exceed 6 in 24 hours. It's bitch, you know how many opiates and painkillers that people drop per day and they're still cruising? Now, don't get me wrong. I don't want this stuff in my system at all, but I don't have much of a choice. Because we were obviously talking about I needed to get sleep. Sleep was most important. I needed to reduce my stress, also important. So I have no choice but to pop pills until, thankfully, it's not like Perks or Vikes or anything like that. It's nothing serious, but not even codeine. It's just, your standard over the counter. But it's just so frustrating because I'm pretty close to like getting over this whole issue I had with this irregular heartbeat, this, whatever it was. So I sat down with a couple people because I've been managing it the best I can. I've already done 2 blood donations, and I've already been stress testing my body. I've been going 5 days a week to the gym and doing just stair climber and just watching my heart rate. And here's the thing, my heart rate started at 160, and when I was first doing stair climber, because I didn't do a lot of cardio, and it's already gone down to like between 130 and 135, and it kind of sits there consistently. Sometimes I dip under 130. My resting heart rate, I have no idea what it is because I never check it, but they did my heart rate, they did my blood pressure both times anything, my blood pressure has dropped. They show it if you go to do like Red Cross donations, which you get like gift cards and things like that for it, which is pretty cool. They actually they give you that data right online so you can read it. So the only thing that went up was my iron levels. They went from 13 to 16, but that's because that was dietary. And that day I had eaten a lot of red meat, which contains a lot of iron, and it went from 13 to 16. But they're like, nope, that's why you did it. It's perfectly fine. Don't even worry about it. So very mineral dense foods. But my blood pressure, my high-end blood pressure, my active blood, there's active and resting, and the resting is like between 77 and 81, which is normal, borderline ideal. And then I think it's my diastolic. I'm talking about systolic or diastolic. Those are your 2 different blood pressures. And those are ideal. Like really ideal. Like the first time it was like 120 and now it's down to 109. So there's no issues with blood pressure. So I don't think it would be a clot. I'm going to the gym 5 days a week and doing stair climbers at level 4, an hour, 500 calories, over 500 calories. No issues there. No loss of breath. So, and I'm taking all these, anti-inflammatory supplements, oxides that expand the blood vessels, dilate your blood vessels so you can, or dilate your veins so you can kind of, more blood can flow through. It's either that, if it wasn't going to work, I was going to consider taking a freaking Blue Chew. I was told to. But I think the nitric oxide pills, the boosters, did perfectly fine. So it seemed like it had gotten better and better, but I still wasn't sure. There was still the stress of not knowing what it was. There was still that. There was still that stress of not knowing what was going on with my body. Did I have an irregular heartbeat? Did I have atrial fibrillation? I obviously had some type of irregular, murmur or palpitations. It was there. And then, but I've been working hard, very hard. And I kicked coffee and everything. But like I said before, kicking that was cakewalk. So I sat down with two very important people. And one of them has dealt with severe stress before, to the point where all the same symptoms that I had or have, they had, and they dealt with them. The other one had severe bypass surgery. They said that they described the pain they were having as if they were having heartburn. That's how he described it, though. He didn't know how else to describe it. They both said if you had a blood clot or any other major cardiac event, you'd know. They're like, you're dealing with stress. Plain and simple. This is all due to stress. He's like, when you go to bed, feel like your heart's pounding out of your chest? Yeah. Okay. Do you wake up to go to the bathroom at night? Yes. When you come back, is your heart beating and you're constantly thinking 100 miles an hour? Yes. You're stressed out. You're massive stressed. You need a vacation. You need to stop worrying about shit. It's like, why do you think like that? Because my biggest problem is that I feel like I'm behind. I've always felt like that. I've always felt like an underdog. I'm running behind. I didn't make enough good decisions early on in my life, where now I'm all of a sudden playing catch up. So I have to be twice as fast. I have to invest twice as much. I have to work twice as hard. And unfortunately, I'm at this part where that I can't do anything about. Yes, I can work hard. Yes, I can be investment heavy. Yes, I can be active and do all these things, but I can't stress about these items anymore. He's like, dude, that will kill you. I mean, I lost a half brother to stress. Just ultimately, it can kill you. It can lead to a cardiac event because you're just freaking out all the time. You're not sleeping, and if you don't sleep, your body doesn't recover. You're going to get ill. So my main goal was just to get the rest. But after these two telling me that it's all stress related, and they were confident in it, it kind of lifted that weight off my chest. It's like, okay, maybe this is just stress. If it is just stress and I don't need to be freaking out over things, I can just learn to be like, all right, well, if you're not dying, then just calm down. If there's nothing in your body that's planning to kill you, then just calm down. And that seemed to have been the trick. I'm still following a respectable pattern of nutrition and supplementation, and stimulants are actually, for the first time in over 2 months, I had my first coffee. But it wasn't a morning coffee. It was an afternoon. Like, I finished an assignment and I was heading back, and I decided I'm going to stop for a coffee. And it was amazing, and it felt so good, but I was relaxed about it. And then I had another one today, later in the morning, after I had my morning tea, after I went to the gym, after I had some food. I had a coffee, and I was fine. So it was what it's like a eureka thing, like the all this time I've been fighting stress. It's amazing that my body brought me to the brink where all over stress, that it would cause that much of a reaction where I couldn't sleep, where I was overthinking, and just knowing that it was all, I don't know if you want to call it bullshit, but it was all induced by my mind. It's like you're going to sleep and thinking about things. It's like, okay, fine, write it down. But if you can't do anything about it at the moment, then just don't. Just go to bed. You're not going to solve that many problems at night. You can write things down. You can record stuff. You can go for a walk. You can do a few things. But ultimately, once your eyes say you need to close them, you just need to close them. Slow down on your fluid intake before bed. Take plenty of supplements to help you sleep. And just call it a day. And now I'm like, I don't think about it too much now. I've had some items where it kind of bothered me a little bit, but it is now like, it's not 2 steps forward, 1 step back. It's like 3 steps forward and 1 step back. And the 1 steps, they don't even feel like 1 steps. They feel like half a steps. But I went through this whole day and it was no problem. No heart in my throat, no irregular heartbeat. It's just like, I feel better. But amazing. As soon as I feel better, the fucking snaggletooth decides it wants out. Now, when I wiggle it, it's definitely got more play in it than my right one. Which, I mean, I'll be honest with you. What do I want to bill for? Do I want to bill for a blood clot and a fucking what do you call it? A bypass surgery or a stent surgery, or do I want the bill for a tooth replacement? You know, what do I want the bill for? So, I think, at this point, if I am able to start this year off with just getting a tooth replaced and moving on with my day, I'm going to feel so much better. But it is, don't get me wrong, it is annoying. It does hurt very much. And I have to take this Tylenol, ibuprofen, Advil, ibuprofen mixture in order to not have the pain. Now, I can deal with some pain. Like right now, I'm dealing with some pain. But in about an hour or so, it's going to be there to the point where I need to take something. And I will. I mean, I'll be honest with you. I have to rest. I'm not taking the low-dose aspirin because I'm taking this Advil ibuprofen mixture. So I took one thing away and added in another. Because they're helping with this. This is, and I'll be honest with you, thank God for this drug. It really does help. But it is a temporary fix. I do not want to be taking this stuff for a long time. I want to be over it in 30 days, have a solution to this problem, and be done with it. And going on vacation, I don't know if I'm going on vacation with or without this tooth. I'll be perfectly honest with you. So, I mean, I will obviously be packing a shit ton of supplements for the trip, and definitely plenty of Tylenol, ibuprofen. The pain has not escalated because I've been constantly on this cycle of meds. But thankfully, this is all I'm taking. I should be just fine during vacation. I don't really eat any hard foods. I haven't touched an apple. I haven't, played with anything that does that. And I've just been cautious about what I've done. But it's just like one thing after another. But I'm trying not to let it stress me. Because what am I going to do about it? I've had this tooth for 42 years, and now all of a sudden it decides it doesn't want to play nice anymore. Okay, whatever. It's got to go. So, yeah, I mean, does it hurt right now? Yes. So I may have to cut this podcast short, but I did want to talk about one more thing. But ultimately, the major thing that was concerning me has started to go away excessively. Like, it's aggressively making its way out of my life. It was a major lesson learned. It was a major lesson learned, the impact of stress on your life when you overthink things and you don't get enough rest, the power what that has in your body. And the only pains I ever felt were over here on my right-hand side, so I didn't know what that was causing. But that's as far as it ever got. It never got worse. I always felt like I was keeping pace with it. And then when I felt like it was when I was told that it's mostly stress related, and that'll be confirmed by a physician visit in about a week and a half, 2 weeks, I will be like, oh, okay, good, awesome. And I'll keep the same supplementation, the beetroot, the turmeric, the CoQ10. I'm gonna keep all that stuff in my body, and the blood donations, all that. The blood donations, I mean, they might have helped too. They definitely might have helped, and obviously, they pay you, which is cool. But it definitely helped a lot to kind of go through that process as well. And I'm gonna do it again. Like, I'm eligible to do it again in June. Yeah, I know it's a good thing. Well, ultimately, by giving blood, I believe it helps reduce blood clots, the risk of blood clots. So, sign me up. I'm game for it. So, just wanted to give you that health update. Like, I'm getting better. That's the good news. There's no creepy crawlies in my body. The worst thing that came out of this was a bad tooth. Which hurts like a motherfucker. So as soon as this podcast is over, I'm popping some pills. Because I want to sleep tonight. I want to talk about the Artemis missions. So, in case you didn't notice, we just took 4 people and sent them around the moon. And I know with everything that's going on, like the news cycle and stuff like that, and there's some legitimate items going on, this is a major accomplishment. I want to shed light on this. This is a major accomplishment. After so many years of, us talking about, did we actually go to the moon? Why is it taking so long to go back? Did we ever go in the first place? It's like, this was important for so many reasons. I think there was a lady at the Washington Post or something who said we should stop going out into space. There's nothing to see here. nothing to explore. We're not going to meet anything. We're not going to find anything. And it's like, lady, shut the fuck up. This exploration is a part of mankind. It's part of who we are. We need to go out there and explore and test things. Like, space exploration is valuable because it gives us a better understanding of where we are in the universe, how far we can reach, what is the capabilities of us, whether it's our technology or what have you. But every time we go out there, we learn something new. It's important for us to do this. It should be part of our yearly cycle. We should be going out there and setting up shop as much as we possibly can and throwing as much against the wall to see what sticks. We need to be doing that. It's important. Because you go out there once, you get lucky. You go out there again, something might break. You got to learn how to fix it. You got to learn how to adapt. Space exploration is very important. You don't just get new technology by video games, porn, and war. You get to learn new technologies by exploring the depths of the ocean, exploring the far reaches of space, testing yourself against certain speed limits. That is where true innovation is born. But the testing of new technology is valuable. I mean, how much do we think we learned from the Apollo 13 mission? That's the mission that failed to land on the moon because of a faulty coil near the oxygen tank ruptured, caused an explosion on the ship. Which means the guys had to basically figure out a way to get home. And it was a whole lot of improvisation. They were losing oxygen tanks. The lunar module and the Apollo module, the Odyssey module, were freezing cold. They couldn't do fuel dumps, or they couldn't do waste dumps. There were so many things they couldn't do. But they did manage to swing around the moon, which is cool, because it still counts as an orbit. They're still able to orbit the moon and get back safely. And I'm sure they learned a ton from that assignment. And that's important to test the new technology that's out there, whether you're going down to the bottom of the ocean or to the farthest reaches of space that's possible with humankind. It's important that we continue to do this. It's important that we expand mankind's reach. It truly is. It's important that we have a space station that we can go up to. It's important that we have a lunar base, a lunar colony, a lunar greenhouse, a lunar something. It's important that we get to Mars and establish some type of colony, some type of work, some type of thing. Ultimately, we need to go out there and we need to start expanding and stretching that line out so that we can figure out what else is possible in the meantime. If we're just sitting on this little boom marble, don't get me wrong, it is a fine marble. But we've got other places that we can jump to and be on. I know we're not super fast. I'll be honest with you. We're not fast. Takes us a couple days to get to the moon. That's the thing. Takes us a couple days. Takes us several months to get to Mars. One day we'll figure out how to go faster. But what if we're not going to figure that out until we, continuously test new technologies out there in space and figure out, okay, what goes faster? How do we bend space-time? How do we get from point A to point B quicker? Is it actually possible? We got to go out there and keep doing it. And keep testing it. We had so many Apollo missions. So many that we got to test out. It's important that we keep doing it so we can expand our reach, expand our capabilities, see what we're capable of doing while on the moon for long periods of time, see what we're capable of doing for long periods of time when we're on Mars. There's plenty of people that have no problem with going out into space for the longest time to do stuff. They're bored on Earth, they want to go do shit, and they want to go to Mars, they want to go to the moon, they want to go to pick another place where you can actually be on there for a while and not die. I mean, could we terraform Mars? I don't know. We could try. But we should be out there testing all these things. My biggest concern, obviously, is the lunar the garbage that's orbiting our planet. We have so much space debris; it's insanity. We need to start by working. We need to work on cleaning that up if we're going to be out there more than I don't know, once a year. So we need to go do that. It's important. But colonization is a big deal. We have like 8 billion people on this freaking rock right now. Are we running out of room? Well, I don't know. There is an argument to say that we're ultimately going to be overcrowded, but when you think about it, we're starting to peak. Like, we can handle probably between 8 and 10 billion people on this planet. But I think at this point, like, our age gap, our age groups, we're having far less children. So we're going to start to peter out. Like, we're going to, like population levels are going to start to decline rapidly in places like China, Japan, the United States, Europe. There's going to be a significant population drop. And I don't know how that's going to help or hurt, but ultimately, there's a lot of people here on this planet, and maybe by stretching ourselves a little bit out by sending some people here or sending some people there, there may be some amazing things that we can accomplish. And with new planets under our belt, there might be new jobs or new opportunities or new science that we can discover that will require the talents of people that may not be utilized on this planet. But if you go to this planet, you know, you can get a good job, 401k, health and dental benefits. I don't know if who knows what. You don't know what you're going to accomplish until you take the risk of going out there to just see what's out there and what you can do. It shouldn't. We should work on working on saving this planet or protecting this planet and improving this planet. Yeah, great. Well, by going to the moon and going to Mars, you could work on improving those ones as well. Make this one a little more habitable. Make this one actually like oxygen based or terraform it or something. Do something. Try something. And here's the thing: if we're out there on Mars and on the moon, building bases, building technology, we might be out there to stretch even farther into space. Now, don't get me wrong, it's pretty cold out there once you get out there. Like, Jupiter and Saturn are not habitable. They're not. Maybe one of their moons are. But those planets themselves not. And anything past that, like, you know, Neptune, Uranus, Pluto, there's nothing there. That's all ice. That's all freezing cold. You're not going to Venus either. That's not happening. But that's getting closer to the sun. But either way, we got to stretch out into space. It's important that we go do that. It's important that NASA focus on this. It also helps right some of the wrongs of the past. Because there's a lot of speculation about whether or not we went to the moon to begin with. Whether we were out in space. Whether we made it past that the radiation belt. The Van Allen radiation belt. Whether we actually orbited the moon. Whether we actually landed on the moon. Was it all bullshit? Was it all staged? Was it all just some giant movie directed by Stanley Kubrick? I don't know. And if that's the case, the Artemis missions are even more valuable because it proves that we actually can do this stuff. That we actually are capable of amazing things like going out into space and landing on random shit. That's very important for us. It also gives us the ability to expand technologies in case there's meteors that would be considered a threat to us. And we're out there testing new technologies that are faster, more accurate, more agile, and could help us with possible, extinction level events such as that. And this helps right some of the wrongs of the past of those questions of whether we actually went anywhere or not. Or confirming that we went. Because if we actually go and land on the moon with the Artemis 3 mission, which is most likely going to happen, then we can go check out the spot where Armstrong, dropped foot on the moon and be like, see? Told you so. Told you we went. That's important. We need to do that. To right some of the wrongs or the quote unquote wrongs of the past of whether or not we actually went. Did we fake going? Things like that. These are important factors to consider. So it's an amazing achievement to go back after 50 years? It's an amazing achievement. And the crew was pretty straightforward. One Canadian, one lady, and 2 other dudes. whatever. And they did an excellent job. And the communication back and forth, what they were seeing, I mean, they had some video issues due to possibly like radiation or distance or what have you. But it all seemed like it was pretty textbook stuff. And I watched as much as I could, checking out like all their visuals and them talking back and forth. And hey, man, if it was all fake, you fooled me. I thought it was absolutely amazing, and I thought it was really important that we did it. The fact that we got off the ground, because just remember, we've lost 2 shuttles in the entire since space administration was formed. Yeah, obviously we lost Apollo 1 right on the test pad, but we lost the Challenger in 1986 when it exploded during takeoff, which was very avoidable. That disaster was avoidable. And the Space Shuttle Columbia, when the Space Shuttle Columbia lost some tiles on the outskirts of its wing, and during re-entry, it burned up. And it burned up pretty quick. And yeah, everybody died. It's just how it goes. But this is, it was important that we made it through the first phase. We went out there. Everything seemed like it went off without a hitch, except for some Microsoft products that were having some problems. What else is new? But it happened. They did it. And that's so cool. I know they didn't land, but they will. They will. That's going to be a thing now. And I know there's so much other stuff going on. It's like, why are you paying attention to this? There's this war. There's this stock market. There's inflation. It's like, yeah. But this is a perfect example of, like, of human... human perseverance. This is what we want to see. We want to see us going out there and exploring. Exploring not just space and science, but possibilities. It's like we go up there 10 times. But that one time that we go up there out of those 10 times, we may discover something that'll change the course of history forever. Or change our directory, change our future. Be like, oh, what, who knows what we... And on top of that, we're out there. We may encounter something else that's out there, because there's a lot of talk about, unidentified flying objects. There's a lot of talk about, aliens and things like that. And maybe with that talk being more public and information becoming more public, maybe we'll start to really pay attention to those anomalies that might not be anomalies. It might actually be something. And who knows how we connect the dots with those. I know that Bob Lazar just released a documentary about his time at Area S4, which was connected to Area 51 out in Nevada. But imagine that our space missions, our Artemis missions, the release of classified documentation about aliens and unidentified objects, and the current UAP traffic that's out there, and imagine this all merges, and our technology takes us from orbiting and landing on the moon to, now we have a propulsion system and a gravitational system that takes us out of our solar system. And just remember, we only have 2 items that are outside of our solar system: Voyager 1 and Voyager 2, 2 unmanned data machines. Basically, 2 IBMs from the late 1970s were shot out into space, and they're still running, but they're still out there and they're still transmitting data. But imagine what we could do when we start taking the data that's been the information that's been covered up for many, many years, the current activity that's out there, and the fact that we're actually going back out there again. Imagine when we combine all these things together and it becomes our eureka moment, and we're actually able to harvest the energy of the sun and the stars, and use and help. And this may help us guide ourselves outside of the solar system to whatever else may be nearby. Now, I don't know how long it definitely takes a while for us to get out of our solar system. It took like 40 years, 30, 40 years for one of the Voyager satellites to leave our solar system. I don't know how long it would take for us to leave our solar system on a manned mission now, but when we combine these technologies together, maybe we have a chance. I don't know if our bodies are capable of reaching speeds that would take us to another galaxy or to another section of our galaxy where life may be habitable. I don't know. We don't know until we explore. We don't know until we try. So I don't want to hear any negativity about this. I think it's an amazing achievement. And I'm so glad that, like, you know, NASA did it and everybody else is involved. And I'm glad that SpaceX is ballsy enough to just go up there and just fire rockets away and do all the things that they're doing. I mean, in the next, I think the discovery of a lifetime could happen in the next 5 years. It truly could. If we continue on, if we stay consistent, this is going to happen. And ultimately, it's going to kill the conspiracies. Now, there's obviously some conspiracies which are legitimately accurate. Okay, that we talked about the COVID ones. We talked about JFK assassinations and CIA rogue agents and all kinds of other stuff. But the flat earth stuff, that's got to go. That's got to go. We have data. We were just back out there. It's real. Like that flat earth stuff has to go. That is just like anti-establishment bullshit. You're being in opposition just to be the opposition. It's not a thing. Like, space is real. The earth is round. Like, we're discovering, like, you got to put this one to rest. You're doing it because you just don't want to try. No, don't get me wrong. If we went out there and we saw that the earth was flat, or funny enough, the moon was flat, then okay, we've discovered something. Now let's talk about it. Let's discuss it. Why is it like that? Let's look into the science of why this is shaped like this and underneath it is like that. Let's look into that. What the hell is going on? I want to know about that. I remember there was a movie called Upside Down with like Kirsten Dunst and some Timothy Chalamet prototype. Where she lived on, it was like two planets that were super close to each other, and they were so close that they literally could, like, these people were like upside down and these people were right side up, but these people who were upside down were, like, you know, affluent communities of people, and they just shit on the people down here. It's a weird movie. It's a cool movie. It's a cool concept. It's a love story, but ultimately it's an interesting, you know, it's an interesting concept. But amazing. If we go out there and we prove it time and time again, yes, some of this information that we've collected way back in the day, okay, it's important that we continue to do this and debunk some of these silly conspiracy theories, or prove some of them true. Either way, we're not going to know until we go out there and make these goddamn attempts. We're not going to know until we go back again. Now, the ultimate one is we got to go to the moon. We got to immediately prep for it. We got to test that module, that lunar landing module. We got to see if it's capable of landing safely. We got to see if there's more that we can do when we're on the moon. We got to go out to the original landing site and be like, see, the flag is there, the footprints are there, or they faded over time. There's that rover that we dropped there that drove around like a dune buggy or whatnot. We gotta go find that stuff. If it truly is still on the moon, we gotta go over there and be like, see, it's right there. Told you. That's right there. The flag is right there. Blah, blah, blah. I told you so. Cool. Put that to bed. Kill that whole thing. And then from there, be like, okay, what can we do next? We need to up our game every single time. And we do need a moon colony. We definitely do. It seems like a no freaking brainer at this point. It seems like a no-brainer. We can have subs, nuclear subs, go underwater for weeks at a time, at 1,000 feet deep, with hundreds of lives aboard. Food, clean water, showers, everything. Why can't we go and put an oxygen-based planet? Why can't we put some fucking moon condos, you know, up on our neighbor? Why can't we do that? We should be rocket blasting that shit up to the moon right now. We should be blasting condos and greenhouses and oxygen tanks and all that stuff to the moon right now. And just land it all there like Legos. And just make it like Legos. And when the space monkeys get there, have them set up shop and start pulling these teepees and tents out and start putting these things together a little bit at a time. Huge space mission. Bring hammers, bring screws and nails, or just shoot it up there. Shoot it up there and like remote it down and land it. Get some of them. What do you got? Those little iRobots that that vacuum your floor. We got so much technology. We can remote that shit, and then they can set up the tarps and they can pour the concrete, and they could do so much more. We can. You know what's cool is like. There's a couple companies out there. I believe Tesla's one of them. They're making like these humanoid robots. Why don't we just send them up there so they can start some of the building process, because they obviously don't need oxygen. And we can send them up there and have them start working on this stuff. And then we can go up there and kind of supervise and help out and other things like that. And then by the time we get there, a lot of the work is done for us. I swear, within 5 years, we're going to have a lunar base. We should have a lunar base. As soon as we get rid of all that space debris, we should have like a 2001 Space Odyssey type station. And we should already be making a connection to Mars at this point. This is all stuff that we're capable of doing. And the Artemis missions are a reminder of what we are capable of at a fraction of the level. Because honestly, we should be planting flags on every place that won't chew it up and spit it out, like Saturn or Mars. Jupiter. We're not going to Jupiter, guys. Just newsflash to you. I just don't think that's happening. But maybe one of Jupiter's moons or one of Saturn's moons might be possible. Might be possible. So, if you haven't learned anything, if you don't know anything about the Artemis 2 missions, go and look it up. They got videos, documentaries about it. You just go on YouTube, look all that stuff up. The live recordings from start to finish, from takeoff to landing. It's amazing that we did it. And it was all 100% successful. It's amazing. Absolutely amazing. Anyways, I gotta go take some pills. You guys can find me on Instagram at @positive_sarcasm. You can find me on my website, positivesarcasm.com. You can go ahead and like, subscribe, share there. Donate, positivesarcasm.com/donate. And it's appreciated. You can email me directly, positivesarcasm@outlook.com. This podcast is available anywhere podcasts are downloadable: Spotify, iHeartRadio, TuneIn, Podcast Addict. They're also downloadable at Substack and downloadable and streamable from my website, positivesarcasm.com, in the podcast section. And you can watch this podcast on YouTube and Rumble. Just look up Positive Sarcasm Podcast. In the meantime, I gotta go take some painkillers. Thank you for listening, watching, and subscribing. I probably won't be Will I be talking to you next week? I will be talking to you next week. And then I'm on a plane to Fort Lauderdale. Talk to y'all next week. Recorded here from the Spare Parts Studio alongside New Hampshire's beautiful seacoast for entertainment purposes only. This has been a Positive Sarcasm presentation.